I was just thinking about you.
Get a take on the world from the founder's point of view. You're listening to Randall's Thoughts on HBCU Pulse Radio.
Yes, on today's Randall's Thoughts, I want to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson. If you don't know who Sha'Carri Richardson is, she's an American track and field sprinter who goes to LSU, and she competed in the Olympic trials on June the 19th, and she won the 100-meter relay race to qualify to go to the Tokyo Olympics. And we all were super excited because she's a star. Like, she has this aura about her. She has orange hair. She has her lashes. She has her nails. She is authentically a black woman with how she carries herself. She's confident. And we just all love to see it, right? But of course, she had haters. And a lot of folks were talking about her confidence and her bravado. And I spoke about it on our weekend review show on last week. And I think that one thing that we do to black women that is so wrong, we have to stop it, is that I think that we police the thoughts and actions of black women, and we don't allow black women to be confident. Like, people are really going in on Sha'Carri because she's confident, but y'all love Michael Jordan punching his teammates. And yes, I did compare her to Michael Jordan because you have Sha'Carri who's just confident, right? And you have Michael Jordan, who has this winner's mentality to people because he was punching and knocking out teammates. So yes, I did compare Sha'Carri to Michael Jordan. We all love Sha'Carri also because she has an amazing story. Sha'Carri decided to race after she found out that her mother had passed away a week after. And she raced, she did her thing, and she was real big on talking about trying to fulfill her family legacy.
Going from just last week, losing my biological mother, and I'm still here and still choosing to pursue my dreams, still coming out here, still making sure to make the family that I do still have on this earth proud.
I tell you, man, it was powerful. It was powerful. She ran up the stairs and she hugged her grandmother. You could tell that win meant a lot to her. And then she even spoke in 2017 that she would make the Tokyo Olympics. And we were ready to see her in a showdown against Jamaican sprinter Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, who also killed the 100 meters, and we were ready for that showdown. Sha'Carri versus Shelly. We were ready for it. Well, we're not going to be able to see it because the Olympics drug tested Sha'Carri, and they deemed that she could not run in the Olympics because they basically found marijuana in her system. And the internet is very split right now. A lot of folks are outraged because, like, what, weed? Like, weed is literally legalized in the United States. Like, what the world? But then on the flip side, you have folks that's like, well, it's the Olympics. The Olympics are a worldwide organization, and it was a rule. So Sha'Carri, after this news came out yesterday, did an exclusive interview with the Today Show, and she spoke about this whole entire situation.
Being in that position of my life, finding out something like that, something that I would say is probably one of the biggest things that have impacted me positively and negatively in my life when it comes to dealing with the relationship I have with my mother. So that definitely was a very heavy topic on me.
And she said it right there, folks. She did what she did because she was coping with the death of her mother. And everybody is here. They're still saying, oh, but she knew she shouldn't have done it. But I want to go this route because this has been on my mind for a minute because I am a sports fan. I get sick and tired of the folks in the media and also the folks on social media that treat these players as if they're just animals. They treat these players as if like we're watching Game of Thrones or Power or all these other different shows that we like. These are real people that deal with real consequences of life in their actions. So everybody's like, oh, she shouldn't have done it, XYZ. Bro, you did not know what she was going through. And people were saying that on social media. You don't know what she was going through. You don't know why she did that. And she comes out and says, well, I smoked in Oregon after I found out my mother passed away. And people still have their hot takes and the things that they're saying. You want to know why? Because it gets ratings and because it gets mentions and it gets you clout on social media. It helps you build your brand. I think that we have to really look at these athletes and we have to fully understand that they are human. We have to understand that. Sha'Carri dealt with the death of her mother Has anybody else dealt with that? I've not dealt with it. I haven't, experienced that, but I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine how it would feel. I couldn't imagine what I would do. And the fact that she was strong enough to still go out there and do what she does, and y'all are going in on her? Y'all are building this narrative, oh, she's reckless, she shouldn't have done what she did. Y'all don't I just hate that in the media that we don't go on the facts. We don't look at the whole scope of the story before we speak. We're over here like killing people before they're dead. We're so reactionary on social media. And it just really upsets me because we don't like to find all the facts before we make our opinions because we just want to say something to get retweets, to get likes, positive or negative. And that's what upsets me. These are real people. These are real lives that you're playing with. From these erroneous death announcements like with Biz Markie to this situation with Sha'Carri. We have to do better on social media because we have this responsibility. We have this platform and we misuse it. Sha'Carri, her dream, her goal for years was to make the Olympics, and now she can't. But the only thing everybody can speak of is, well, why didn't she do it? And why can't Sha'Carri get at the very least a benefit of the doubt? And it's going to be hate no matter what. But Sha'Carri should get the benefit of the doubt. Because she wasn't just doing it just, I'm just going to smoke just to smoke. She did it to cope. We're so big on mental health now. Well, why isn't it a consideration for Sha'Carri and her mental health? But all I'm saying is that as we figure out what's going to happen, as we figure out if any appeal is going to happen, if things are going to get overturned, and if she's going to be able to actually race in the Olympics, we will see, because we don't know what will happen. And I hope for the best for Sha'Carri. But I think that in this situation, and also this week with the Biz Markie news, where people said he passed away and Revolt dropped the article that he passed away, then we find out that wasn't true, that people were speaking prematurely. They aired one thing, they tried to race to be first. That's the problem with our social media. We always want to be first, whether it's to report news or to have a viral opinion, that we forget that these are real lives that we're dealing with. My heart goes out to Sha'Carri in this moment of first her losing someone so close to her as her mother, and now she doesn't get the opportunity for something she's worked so hard for. She doesn't get this opportunity to race in the Olympics. It's disparaging. And I really want people to understand this is a young woman. She's in college. She goes to LSU, and she's dealing with her reality right now. And look at that Today Show interview. She's not okay. This ain't like, I'm over it, I'm fine, this is what it is. No, she's not okay. And I just really wish that in our commentaries and our opinions, we wait to get the facts, and we have an understanding of, we can feel the way that we feel, but at the end of the day, these folks are real people and they're human. This is my thoughts on today.
Tap, tap, tap in.
You're listening to Pulse Radio with Randall and Shelby, the heart of the culture.
Yo, what's going on? This is Randall, the host of Pulse Radio. Make sure you listen to Pulse Radio on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube for more content like this.